Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My apologies for not having an upload out on Tuesday. I got a little bit overwhelmed with the return to college and was out of town for the entirety of spring break, so I didn't really have the opportunity to record anything for that. However, getting back into things here, I noticed that we left off with a couple of plans relating to external to the solar system expansion, as well as internal to the solar system expansion. The two things that are kind of on my list today are actually not green science, although I do have it queued. Rather, the main things on my list today are to do a couple of things that we've neglected over the past little while. The first is these frame materials, these big platforms. They are quite handy and will certainly be useful. We also need them for the satellite distribution tower things. I don't know where those are on here, but they're somewhere. And then, of course, as well, we have to do quantum chips at some point. These things are a big pain in the butt. Plane filters are an even bigger pain in the butt because of the Casimir crystals. Titanium glass is a huge thing that we have to do. Crystal explosive units aren't that important to me at the moment, because, again, Casimir crystals are a huge pain in the butt. Strange matter is going to be super important, and finally give us a use for deuterium, so we can quit burning coal on oil processing. Graviton lenses are going to be super important for warpers, as well as for the gravity matrix, green science, which of course also requires blue chips. And this is actually the first of any of the sciences to have a net positive ratio for the ingredients to science matrix. So like if we go over here to the electromagnetic matrix, it's a 1-to-1. Sure, whatever, who cares? 1-to-1, that's not awful. Energy matrix is a 2-to-1, so you're losing materials. Yellow science, structure matrix, is also a 1-to-1, but there's a lot of things that go into that 1-to-1. Very expensive. Information matrix is a 2-to-1 and a 1-to-1. Again, losing product. The gravity matrix is the first and only of the sciences to have a net positive instead of a net neutral or a net negative science production. You get 2 for every 1 that you make, which means you only need to produce half as much. However, they're also really useful for space warpers, so as opposed to having the 1 graviton lens to 1 warper, we can have 1 graviton lens and a quantum chip to create 2 gravity matrices, so already that's times 2, and then times 8, so it's a 1-to-16 ratio. Much, much, much better. Even more with proliferation, of course. And then the final science in the game, the universe matrix, is of course a 1-to-1 of every single other science and antimatter, which is a whole entire thing that we'll have to get into later. So first things on the docket, while all of this research gets moving and grooving and going, is going to be frame platforms, which are just the simple 3 input, 1 output with proliferation, literally the exact same design as this one here, except a tiny bit different in terms of spacing and everything else. We just want to make sure that we have it all good and correct. Actually, I might go on ahead and make these identical spacing, assuming that it lets me. It does. All right, awesome. That's very good. So now we have consistent spacing for later game stuff, because these are pretty big, beefy blueprints. Of course, there is also just a whole bunch of other stuff that we need to do. And I would also be remiss if I didn't mention that our system is clean. We have no seeds. However, we may eventually have seeds in the future. And of course, we also have Miram, the optical grating crystal outpost sector that we will be going to. They, of course, have a seed inbound, which is not great. I also have a whole bunch of plans for that, but I'll talk about that later. So first things to do are the big platforms, these frame materials. The next thing to do will be more than likely the titanium glass, because that's rather importante. The next thing to do after that will be strange matter, because that's almost done. And then the next thing after that, graviton lenses, and then I'll just have warpers. And then honestly, we can just go from there. And let me pause here. This. No. This is the big goal very soon. Advanced mining machine. The advanced mining machine is amazing because it covers so many veins, it's ginormous, and it has automatically integrated logistics, which means no extra belts running miners to logistics hubs. We can just have it all in one. But they require those optical grating crystals that we're going to get from Miram, and it also requires green science. So this is the next goal that we're shooting for. This is the next step in the attainment of moving external to our solar system. And we've got a bunch of things to do in between. Everything that I've gone over so far is pretty much just the exact same as stuff that we've already done. So I'm honestly just going to go and do it. And if anything interesting happens in the meantime, as this all happens, I will bring you guys back in and we will see it together. Otherwise, see you soon with finished builds. And with that, I've got just about everything that I think I said. I don't know, it's been like a day, give or take, since I last played. So first things first, here we have big platforms. These have already been turned on because I needed big platforms in order to make the fusion things, the miniature particle collider things. So that's build number 1. I think it's a little over 12 per second. Yeah, it is a little over a second. We've got these guys making the titanium crystals with full proliferation, including proliferation of the organic crystals, because they are a pain in the butt. Forget exactly. Okay, so 4 machines makes 1 per second, so this is a 3 per second, and I don't really think those are going to be used for anything apart from Casimir crystals, so that'll be perfectly fine. And Casimir crystals take a 1-to-1, so with one of these, we can support 1 3 per second system for the Casimir crystals, which will be super nice in the future. Down here, we have titanium glass, and I know for a fact that this is 12 per second, I believe it was calculated for. Because every 5 machines makes 2 per second, and this is a whole ton of machines. 28. I bonked my math at some point, but it's fine. The proliferation gets us there. It's basically 12 per second. We have the graviton lenses, which I figured that I would wait to turn on camera, because that's a pretty big, monumentous achievement, and we will be making warpers with those very shortly. And then, of course, strange matter as well, which is going to be a huge power draw, which is where it comes into play that it's probably time to turn these off. I mean, they've been great. They've done great things for us. They helped protect us that one time that my missiles weren't fast enough to kill the inbound units, but I think it has served its purpose well long enough. So let's go on ahead and turn this on. This is big news, very, very big news. The deuterium, of course, we've got plenty of. The iron, of course, we also have plenty of being imported. Here comes the iron as we speak. In terms of the particle containers, though, there's not a whole ton of those in the system, although they are going to get here first. So that is something that we are going to have to do a little bit later on down the line, is head over to the other planet that we have, the one that we conquered closest to the sun, and make some motor factories, specifically green motor factories. I think are going to be the biggest monster that we have to deal with here. And of course, the last ingredient being onboarded as we speak is iron, and we will see if this can actually maintain the deuterium throughput. It can. Very nice. Very good to see. This is also 3 per second, I believe. You've produced strange matter. Incredible how it warps to the surrounding space. Maybe it's what you've been looking for. Yeah, there's all these milestones and things, and we'll get there eventually. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. It'll be fine. Yeah, look at all those lovely little things going in. None of them are clogged yet. They make cool noises. And yeah, that's what I was worried about having happen. That looks fine still. 75,000 currently in orbit. Kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, that was pretty much what I was worried about happening. Yep. That is exactly what I was worried about happening. That's fine though. I'll get rid of a whole bunch of things and it'll be perfect. And then we can take this probably down to 1,000, this down to 1,000. Coal, doesn't matter, we've got tons of it. And it just makes the diamonds right on site. Every system of 6 here is 1 per second, so this is technically 2 per second, not 3 per second. Although the proliferation bonus will help us out a little bit. How much exactly? Extra product plus 20%. Whatever 20% of 2 is, so 2.2 per second instead of 2 per second, which will be very nice. Strange matter is loaded. We're just waiting for coal. The coal I didn't worry about proliferating because who cares, but I proliferated the diamonds. That way we're using the strange matter to the best of its efficacy. And then, yeah, of course, this is just the proper ratios for all of this because I need 4 per second for each 1 per second. Each side of this is 1 per second, so I need 8 of these because that gets me 4 of these per second, which is great. And yeah, we have graviton lenses. Even better than having graviton lenses is I can put down... I don't know, do I even really need to put anything down? I think I can just take like 50. There exists 50 of them, and then I can just make the warpers in my inventory. And we can go to a new system! There we go, 50. And then that's not the thing. Replicator, warpers, and 10 warpers. Wow, that's gonna take 5 minutes. That's nuts. Okay, awesome. And yeah, our deuterium is going to start to struggle a little bit, but that just means that we are going to be using our hydrogen a little bit, which is super duper nice. There is probably a more compact way to do the deuterium, or the hydrogen to deuterium processing loop thing. There's probably a better, more compact way to do this, but I kind of like how this looks. We'll probably have entire planets filled with that stuff at some point in the future. But for right now, I'm going to try to help out the power grid by getting rid of some of our shielding, because we don't need it anymore. There's no incoming anymore. I could also probably get rid of the signal towers, although signal towers, what's their draw? Idle cost 1.35 megawatts. That's negligible, give or take. Means we don't care about it. And then, yeah, over here we've got this, which, if I remember correctly in the blueprints, oh, I didn't ever end up blueprinting this. I gotta do that. That's gonna be something that I just have to end up doing. Let's take a look at the recipe. We can suss this out. So it's 4 to get 1 per second. We've got 6 rows of 4. So this is 6 per second if we were to upgrade it to... Yeah, it's about what I was expecting, because 6 per second is exactly as much as we need it to be. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. Go on ahead and upgrade those. Yeah, this is 6 per second, as it stands currently. Also, facilities belts sorters need to have an upgrade, because these are all still tier 1 sorters, and that is definitely going to be way too slow. I'm not going to bother upgrading this right now, because we'll just do that on the other planet at some point. This is really the one thing that I'm mainly concerned about. And I guess technically I could... it doesn't... Oh, I'd have to completely jerry-rig it to be able to get that to fit. I don't think it matters all that much. Ooh. Interesting thing to note, graphene is not able to keep up at the moment. Why not? Is it because I only have 2 of the darn things? As it stands right this moment, it looks like it is in fact because I only have 2 of the darn thing. Which means I bet I know what's going right here is going to be more of these guys, or add proliferation to it. I could just add proliferation to it, actually. That wouldn't be a bad idea. You, and you. And then proliferation. Just giving a little bit of a behind the scenes to the process of all of this as well, while I have a captive audience, so to speak. Suppose you're not captive, you can go watch whatever you want, but I don't know, it's funnier to say it that way. And of course there's battlefield analysis spaces right there. Oh, I could probably remove all these and get more space that way too. More space, more production, all the good stuff. The proliferation not here yet? There's the juice. Love the juice. Come here. Get into the hole, please. Might be able to make it fit underneath of this one as well. So where did I put it? I put it on this line, like this. That. Go on ahead, grab this as a demand. We are still making space warpers at the moment. Of course I can't do it with this right here. That's fine, I don't need that extra power. Despite the fact that I literally have just been complaining about the fact that I have no power. That. Now that will do good things. There's the tab. And we can put him back. So that should help with the graphene a little bit. But probably not perfect, so I'll probably end up placing some more of those anyway. And yeah, we have 41 warpers. How is our fuel tank looking? Fuel tank is looking fine and dandy, which means I think it is time to go and take a look here at Miram. So Miram is going to be our first exosolar outpost. I like the word exosolar. I think that's fun. Followed pretty explicitly by our proliferation system. I think our proliferation system is going to be the next most important because that is going to be where we make all of our proliferation as well as all of our warpers that we expand out into the universe with. It's got plenty of iron, plenty of copper, decent amounts of silica, plenty of titanium, not a ton of coal, but that's fine, crude oil, fire ice is huge. Kimberlite and stalagmite crystals are the most important part of the proliferation system. That is going to be the thing that we use absolutely the most, and it's going to be this one right here. Which it looks like the dark fog has probably taken both of the available land masses. This is an entirely oceanic planet. Of course, it's the only place that has coal. That's great. Oh, no, that has coal, too. And that has a little bit of coal, but not a whole lot of coal, which might actually end up being a problem. I don't know. I'll look a little more closely at that. But anyway, back to Miram. The seed is almost to Miram. Almost. It's getting pretty close. And this is going to be our first outpost. And we are here for the optical grating crystals. So it looks like we've got 150 wind energy. That's pretty good. And I have... Usually there's a thing that says, like, how much of the building... Yeah, building area. 99.7%. Okay, cool. So no foundations really required. What we're going to do is we're going to head to Miram. We're probably going to set it up entirely with wind if we can. If we can't, then Well, no, that's just what we're gonna have to do. Either that or import deuterium fuel rods, and I would rather not import deuterium fuel rods. Just putting that out there, I think that would be a little bit annoying. And what's gonna happen is we're going to have a new interstellar logistics station. I might end up replacing this one, or placing a new one next to it down here at the pole. Or up on the other pole. I could do the other pole, actually. That would be pretty good. We're going to set up some sort of an export of warpers, and we're going to head over there, and we are going to start grabbing ourselves the most wonderful material in the entirety of the game, in my opinion, because it gets us the photon spotlight mining. It's just going to be super duper valuable for it. So minimum load of drones, warp distance farther than 12 astronomical units, infinite vessel transport range is super important. We're going to bump up the charging to double because it takes a lot of power for it to be able to do all of the things. We're going to have it have a local demand of 100 warpers. We're going to have optical grating crystals as a remote demand local supply of 10,000. And now that is completely and entirely set up. We come back down here. Over this way a little bit more. And now we take these last two guys here. And we smack two warper things. Actually, no, just one. One will do. One offset from them. Yeah, that'll do. That'll work. Do it like this. Like that. And then you will probably just go into one of these. Actually, hang on a second. What am I doing with myself right now? I can just copy and paste. Anyway, I'm gonna copy and paste this guy. Because I'm stupid and it does not need to be on the pole. I just like aesthetics because I'm stupid like that. I'm talking way too much as well. We're going to do this. We're going to take that to a local supply. Paste you, paste you. And then we are going to take these warpers out of this machine and smack them on here. Yep, like I said, guys are just going to do their thing. I'm actually even going to disconnect them from the belt. Thanks. That way we've got more. Perfect. I've got mining drills. I've got wind turbines. I've got extra fuel. I've got my own warpers. We're going to go in here. And then I guess the other 30 can go here. You can tell, I believe, that the vessel have it equipped. They should have it. Very least. I guess we'll find out next time. But what I'm gonna do to end off on the episode, plot a course to Miram, head off to Miram, and then watch and learn. I forgot I have to unlock the technology. Oh, I'm such a dunce. Okay, hang on. What does that require? What does it require for me to unlock the technology for this? Oh, I feel so stupid. Drive engine 4. Okay, alright, I'll be back. Sorry. Okay, research is about to unlock. Secondary thing, also caps lock is not the default key, that is just the key that I chose. Second thing, the vessels also require that as a research, so that's going. And a couple other things that I noticed that would be nice to have, just little upgrade things. Also, notice my ETA currently is 1 hour and 18 minutes. And yet... now it is 20 seconds. Which is so insane that we can just do that. And look at how fast we're moving. We are grooving. The fun thing about the seeds that's kind of cool is that the seeds do not travel via warp speed. They only travel via cruise speed, which I find very nice. So let's plot a course for our brand new planet, our brand new outpost, in a brand new, soon to be tainted yet currently untainted star. Oh, I wonder if that's the hive. Is that the hive? Ah, I can see the seed? That's crazy. Oh my gosh. You literally can see the seed from here. It's like a little... Oh, you can see its thrusters. That's so cool. That is so cool. Holy crap. That is so cool. Oh, but I think I will leave it there. I'll leave... Oh, can I get the star and... Yeah, I can. I can get the star and the little blip in the background for the thumbnail. Perfect. That is going to be it for today. We're going to come back next time in a brand new system, a brand new world, and we're going to start colonizing the system one star at a time. But that is going to be it for today, so thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, but without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.